I am just doing a lot of random work, working for Cabarrus County, North Carolina. Right now I am changing an XML file to update a fee schedule that I had that was already configured, but I want to change the fee item code numbers. They're all numbers, and I want to stick in a little MEP in there. So I'm finding fee code and I'm replacing it with fee code tag with the prefix of MEP before the number. So right here is an example. When I replace it, it's going to be fee code and then MEP 1020. And then I'm going to re-import that using Data Manager to update all these fee code items because they're not editable otherwise. So got to do it this way. So I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to do it one by one to make sure that I don't overwrite anything that I don't need to overwrite. There's looks like over 100 or over 110 maybe fee codes. So just going through one by one. And what I'm going to be doing, the reason I'm recording this is I just want to, I don't know really, I just wanted to record what I work on and maybe help somebody that does something similar. Maybe I can, if I ever forget how to do certain things, maybe I can look back on this video myself and remember how I did some things. But it's mainly just a guide to help anybody or myself later on. So I'm going to be doing some of this. What I'm doing in this in preparation for is a script that is going to invoice certain fees based on what people choose in a custom list in Accela. So, alright, looks like I'm back up at the top. Okay, good. So I'm going to close that and see. Get out of here. I'm not going to talk too much, I'm just going to work. So, hopefully I'll forget that I'm even recording and just, you can watch. If I remember that I'm recording and I come up to something that I feel like I need to comment on, then I'll comment on it. But so right now it's what this particular fee schedule looks like. And I got my exports and imports here. Maybe I should do a new folder here. It says it's MEP, but it's MPE. I'll just say MPE. Or let's say MPE. Okay. So what I just edited was this, and I didn't really mean to edit the export. That's okay. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I'll just get rid of those. Re-import this. Override. Okay, should have the fee schedule, and there should be a conflict. Yep, that's going to be okay. Alright, save that and run it. Okay, complete. So now when I go and look at this same fee schedule, I got the MEP prefixes. Okay, good. So the script I'm writing is similar to this. Well, this is it. It's not similar to it. This is what I'm doing. I've already written a function that I'm sticking in that includes custom to this is for the building fee configuration. I'll explain what I did, not in this function or in this function, but as I'm building out this function here. This is specifically for the MPE fee config. So I got a few things in here already. This gets the item cap, the cap ID, if it's not already gotten, or it gets the item cap array and string from the cap ID if it's either if it has a cap ID, it should always have a cap ID. So I'm dealing with electrical services, which the project is Cabarrus County is updating their fees and the way that they assess fees, and also just their whole fee schedule. Luckily, well, the other ones have been more complex because they include separate fees for plan check and inspection. This one just looks like it's only inspection fees, so I don't have to worry about that. The downside is that there's a bunch of them, a little bit more than the miscellaneous and the other building new construction fees. So I got a lot of JSON to write. So that is what I'll be doing a lot of, and you will be joining me for that. So what this function will do is I call it MPE? I think so. Yeah, MEP. I gotta pick one and stick with it. Oh well. Alright. Was gonna invoice the base fee in the script, but we decided there was no use case for doing that. With we could invoice it directly in configuration because they're going to invoice it every time. There's no case for not ever invoicing the base fee. They're always going to invoice the base fee. So with that, and I was going to try to get fancy, but I don't have time to get fancy. I was gonna just say like E70 if this was an electrical thing, and I was gonna say P130 if that was a plumbing thing, but I'm not. I don't have time to do all that, so I'm just gonna have to go with MEP for all those fees, because they're all stuck in here. No matter if it's mechanical, electrical, or plumbing, this includes all fees for all those trades. So what I did was I did create a custom list and associated it with the custom fields group. That one for electrical, one for mechanical, one for plumbing, and the function load ASI tables will create variables based on the names of the groups, the ASI table groups, and it's going to be similar to the miscellaneous, which I've already built out. That I don't have to do this little bit here for the MEPs, or this bit here, because there's only inspection fees. There's no plan check or anything like that, so that's good. Well, I have to check. I don't think there would be any fire fees associated with MEPs, but let me just make sure of that. Here's the fire marshal stuff. Yeah, doesn't look like it's going to be trades. Let me also look here. This is all occupancy, which I've already done. So, okay. Okay, and here's the fees schedule. Like I said, is already in there. So these fees are constant fees, already in place. And my script will look at the custom list and associate the proper fee to whatever's selected. The custom list is let's see if I can get one in here. There's a mechanical. So, yeah, okay. So if I add a row here, there's a mechanical service attribute or column, and drop down list with all those mechanical services, and there's a quantity column where that will be the fee quantity. So whatever the fee for AC and coil changeout times 6 will be the fee. So here's the AC coil changeout. So if I charge that fee, it should be $55.13 for every quantity that I enter. So 6 times 55.13 would be the fee. All right. So I'm going to refer to my script I'd already written for this, for miscellaneous, to get a little bit of head start on this. I'm going to copy this in here. This gets the item, the app type. This loads the ASI tables. This is I'll explain that a little bit more when I start writing the JSON. I got JSON already for the other two functions, building and miscellaneous. That's what they look like. So basically it starts off with a record type, an app type property, and then under that there's an object for for this it's occupancy property, and then beneath that is a PIFR property, which is this plan check, inspection, fire, plan check, and fire inspection. And you have a fee. I just have a fee schedule and a fee code property underneath all those. So, and this is the key and the value for under that. So I'll basically bring in the JSON file, which is a separate file. I'll evaluate that and then parse the JSON inside the script and do a loop of these wildcard probability arrays, which, you know, it's kind of I don't have to do it that way. I guess I could just say, hey, if it matches that, because that's what I got in the configuration. It may never change, but I want to leave it open so that they can extend it later if they need to only include certain record types or whatever. And basically it runs through a loop of looking for a matching property here, a matching property there. It's going to be undefined every time until it gets to here. So I really probably should move that at the top. That makes a lot more sense to do it that way. In fact, with this one, I'm going to do that. Okay. So, see, just talking about it makes me think a little bit better. That's good. So what this load ASI tables Accela function does is creates variables, global variables. Well, it creates variables with the names of those table subgroups. I'm sorry, it's going to be the table group itself, I believe. Well, it's actually the subgroup. But for mechanical service, it takes the space out and just makes it all one word and all uppercase. So that's what it is. And so if it equals object, which means if there's a value in that, if there is a value in the mechanical service ASI table, then, so right now if I didn't save this record, this would not equal an object. If I save it and the script runs, there's an object there because it has a value in it. So that's basically saying if you find a value in that table subgroup, then do this bit of code. So I'm going to go ahead and say something similar to what I've written already. So I'm going to look at that and copy and paste. I did a lot of checks for jurisdiction, different other things for some of these other things. I'm not going to do all that for this. So this is all the way down to here. I'm going to copy in to here. This is going to be config. Okay. So this is where it evaluates that file. the JSON file. This is where it parses it. And then this is where it loops through these guys to match a property, which will be, this will be the first property in the JSON file. Basically, if it's undefined, continue. So keep going around that loop. So I need to space all these out. I need to end it here. It's going to be the end of that one. Okay, so let's see. Space here. Put a little note here for electrical service table info. Going to be real similar to this also. So I'm just going to copy that. And this is I'm going to take this call. Alright, so I got an electrical record up here, so I can actually see what this is going to do. So electrical service is the name of the subgroup, and for each row in electrical service, which I have multiple rows here, and this is electrical service. That comes from this. And this comes from this row, 20. So I'm going to change this here. Basically, I'm saying loop through these items in the table and get those values that are there. That's a value, this is a value. Store it in these variables, fee quantity and electrical service. And I basically just said trim, make it a string, trim any white space off the ends. And then the fee schedule is going to be whatever the record type config is, which is that 4 stars, slashes, with a property of electrical service, which is going to match that because I'm going to put that in my JSON. And I don't need this, so I don't think I'm going to use that. And if it's undefined, or if it doesn't find it somehow, it's null value somehow, then blank all those out and continue. So go back to delete. So if it does find something, if fee quantity has a value, then update the fee with the fee code that I'm going to put in the JSON. Fee schedule, which is going to be in the JSON. That's always going to be final. It's the fee period. And then the quantity, which is going to be from the table. And yes, we want to invoice it, and yes, we want duplicates. And then at the end of that, blank all of it out again, and keep looping around. That's the way it goes. So I'm going to stop here. You guys don't want to watch me write the JSON file, do you? Okay. I'll stop it here. I might make another video with me doing the JSON, but I got a pretty cool tool in VS Code that helps you write JSON, so I'll probably demonstrate that a little bit too. Thanks for watching.